Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to week 10 of the Radical Racing Challenge live on Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me for tonight's race is Austin Knight. Mark Chanter is operating the cameras, and our host for this round of the championship is the Oulton Park circuit located in the UK. Austin, we've been to a couple of tight, twisty circuits so far this season. Certainly Oran Park comes to mind, and also Sonoma to a certain extent, and Brands Hatch as well. However, I think this might just take the biscuit in terms of tricky to overtake tracks. This place is going to be tough, especially seeing that unlike last season, we have got a chicane down that back straight. So this is going to be one of the most important qualifyings and race starts of the season.
It really is going to be one of the most important qualifyings. Since what you were saying, this track is extremely tight. You can get a lot of speed heading into that chicane, which is probably going to be the biggest overtaking point on track today over at Hilltop and Hillstop chicane, which, you know, it's very tight going into there. So you can fit 2 cars side by side. It's just you got to get through turns 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all safe and cleanly, and making sure you can keep that bumper to the car ahead of you before you get there. But yeah, it's going to be a very tightly fought battle and race here. So qualifying is going to be one of the most important things in this beautiful racetrack.
Definitely, and we've got a championship as well to contend. Just 2 more rounds to go in the championship after this one, and Aaron Barber could seal it up if he gets that gap up to 52 points after tonight, then the championship will be his. And saying that he is around tonight, not sure if our Sandra Dalladone is. Akundalis is basically going to have a very good round. Castles is around, I believe Cam is around as well. So Barber could take that title. It wasn't a good start to the season for him. He has missed 2 rounds of the season, and it's far from a perfect score for him. Out of a possible score of 225, he's on that 141, so it's not been a perfect season, but he has come on good form recently, and that second place last time out at Sebring was a good help for him. So looking strong at the top there, but all the positions behind are very well contended, and it's currently Bubba at the top of the standings. And in fact, because this is such a short lap, everyone has already done their 2 lap times. Well, I say everyone, there's still a couple more to come around. Barblane, Hesterman, Taylor, Farr, and also this man that we're watching, Philip Vanden Herk. He's the car number 9, down in 12 positions at the moment. But it's a close qualifying, but Bubba will not care about that one bit. He will be delighted to take that provisional one.
Yeah, if you get pole here, you're pretty much guaranteed top 3 if you have a clean race for sure. 2 drivers not eligible to complete this qualifying as they've invalidated their first lap. Candelas went off track. Paul Taylor, I think, crashed. Austin Fard is I don't think he's taken to qualifying. Ravis Varblane did not complete 2 valid laps. I think he went off track on both attempts. And Johannes Heistman also having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, Kundalis invalidated his first lap as well, so he's just coming to the end now. It should be all plain sailing rounds here. Can go a little bit wide. Oh, he has run wide. I think that might be a 1x while he's still pushing to the line. Is it going to be an eligible lap time for the runner-up in the championship at the moment? It is. It's only 11th place, but man, I really thought that that was going to be a 1x. The off-tracks around this place were super tough, particularly at turn 3 down into Cascades. It's insanely tricky. It's insanely tough. In fact, you want to go all 4 wheels off the track in order to pick up a 1x. So do keep an eye out on that. Of course, the trial's limited to 16 incidents in these official series. As Hesterman is also just approaching the line, going for his that was his first lap, and he's currently only in 18th place. And well, despite the fact that qualifying ended for most drivers a few minutes ago, he's still got just about enough time, I believe, to complete this second lap.
You do. 1 minute 10 seconds left on the board. 1 minute 20 seconds, and I feel like he's already done 10 seconds of a lap. So Johannes really trying to get into a better spot than 18th place, and he's giving us a good look at the track right now through that giant banked corner. And it's such a beautiful corner. And then we are not using that first chicane. Just going to go straight ahead. Not on that short hairpin either. Then it's onto the brakes for the biggest chicane and probably best opportunity for a overtake. And it's so tight going in there. It's going to be very crowded on the opening laps into there, up into the hill. And then this part of the track, it's really followed the lead. But look how tight this part of the track is, and just look how little space that you can really just look up the inside, look around to the outside. Right here, it's so bumpy, and these radicals do not like bumps once the bit. In any bit, coming around the final corner, very tight final corner, and it's going to be not across the line. He's going to park it up, probably where he qualified.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't going to improve on that lap, or maybe picked up a 1x earlier on in the lap. So a little bit of a shame there for Hesterman, but the seed number 18 lining up in 18th. So we got the grid then for this round 10 of the championship, this strength of field race in the Radical Racing Challenge official series, and it is Bubba up on top. Castles with a strong qualifying, but just short 1.5 tenths of a second slower than the car number 1. Josh Cam is doing good to see him back up there in 3rd place. There's John McCutchinson making up a very competitive top 4 on the grid. Thomas Torp is back. Great to see him back. He's in most days on Apex Racing TV. Now he was racing in the Norwegian sector. He didn't go well for him actually in that one, had to disconnect, so hopefully he does better this time. Then it's Chris Cash, Philip Vanden Herk, Michael Messenger, Luke Annette, Nigel Redwood, Arturos Cundes, who's runner-up in the championship. Remember, Alvaro Martin starts in 12th place. Not sure if I've seen Martin in the past. There's Ivan Moore, Abel Al-Amri, Tommy Vitsens, Dennis Kyriakopoulos with a little bit of a disappointing qualifying there, Mike Busson, Johannes Hesterman, Paul Taylor, Austin Farr, and Rasmus Farblane. Those bottom two, a couple of new drivers, I think, to this top split, and it's a very competitive top split for this race, Austin, because a terrific turnout. You can see 4.1 strength of field. I think we've got 6 splits for this one. This free circuit, sure flocking the masses to race.
Free car, free circuit. You're going to get the most drivers that way. And, well, Radicals, probably my favorite free car on the service right now, besides the Mazda MX-5. But besides me being extremely biased to that car, this is probably a close second. We're going to have a great race here today. Here at Oulton Park, Radicals, 5 red lights, and it's green, green, green. And away they go.
Strong start for Bubba. It's going to be the pure motorsports drivers side by side heading into turn 1, but good job there from Castles to hold on to it. Cam going off the circuit momentarily as they try to file into single file. Awful start for Chris Cash. He's down dead surface.
Big crash!
Huge crash there, huge crash, and that was contact with Kundelis, I think. But the man who had the problems was Annette, and he's now been piled into a second time. And whoever hit him on that second time, I'm sure will have significant damage, because that seemed to be a huge impact right there. So Cash, after down 5 places now from a start place of 6.
That is an absolute horrible start for Luke and Net. Thankfully, he's already has his iRacing certificate we saw on his profile. So he does have that race win, but unfortunately that's not going to be another one for him right there. Since it's our first time into the chicane, and everyone being very cordial right here. Nobody going for any crazy moves. As soon as I said that, Martin and Farr going side by side with each other. But everybody at the front nose to tail with each other and just trying to get through this race.
Yeah, and it's up to a 7/10 of a second advantage at the moment for Aaron Barber. That draft effect should help Castles a little bit down the straights, of course, but as always, the turbulent air will be a factor as well, and that's why overtaking in this radical car around this circuit is going to be so tricky. Those moments flies around here as Al-Amri is spun. Al-Amri, who was up a couple of places, I believe, has made a mistake all by himself and looped it round at the end of lap 1. As you see, Philip van den Herk having to defend from Michael Messenger, the Dutch driver, versus the British driver, Van den Herk, just about holding on to it at the moment. And it's also very close behind with Redwood being caught by Condelis.
Yeah, everybody's starting to catch up with each other in the draft. The only person that's not been caught by cars behind him is Aaron Baba, who just seems untouchable. Let's take a replay of the start and watch what Luke Annette does. You see him go onto the inside, then switch onto the outside. It's a bit wide, and was he tapped on the in? Oh, he came across the nose right there, and well, he just got collected by the number 6 of Tommy Wittens. Got into the grass and just got turned in there. So really, that's just Luke Annette turning into one of the cars on his inside right there. Thought he was clear, he wasn't, and just got shot into the barriers right there. And you can see him coming, just looked like he was going back on track, let the car spin out, but unfortunately there was a wheel on the grass and he got rotated back into another car, and that is so unfortunate with that collision with Tommy Wittens. And Wittens is currently in 12th place, and they're having an alright race, up 3 spots.
I think the man who he hit was another Austin. It was Austin Farr who he hit. Yeah, and yeah, Austin's still doing well. You can see it. And yeah, Farr right on his tail. I think there's a couple of different groups at the moment. Now Farr going that far wide. So we can make many jokes about that tonight. God.
I'm disappointed
good mood.
in you. I am disappointed.
Absolutely on fire. And well, as we tune in on the leaders, Barber almost gets that gap up to a second now, and there's barely any draft effects. Admittedly, there's barely any turbulent air effects either. No, but last time we visited this circuit was on a different layout, and that was when Kane Halliburton was leading. And Halliburton actually made a mistake from the lead, but that was going into the corner that we don't have anymore. It's like the Knights of the corner at the end of the back straight. So it is possible to make mistakes around here, and Bubba will be trying to not fall to the same fate as Kundal is. I think is finally going to be able to get past Redwood. No, he has to stay behind Redwood. He may be the
looking at one.
Yeah, and yeah, I think he's going to get past it.
Yeah, Cash around the outside, and now the inside of Moore. They're side by side, heading into turn one more, and Cash at about for 10th. Oh, getting a little bit wild, but Chris Cash making it work well. 10th place for Chris. He's certainly going to be cashing in that move and going to be storing that one in the bank very soon. But here comes Moore, looking for more right here. And I'm getting on same levels of pun attempts.
I was laughing my head off that one. Quality stuff. Hold on, Austin.
Oh, Redwood's wide.
There from Redwood, and he's given up that position to Kundal. It's very easy. And I imagine he's going to let his teammate go as well. This could be getting quite tasty at the end of the straight here, because he wants to let his teammate go, but he doesn't want to let Moore go as well. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it, and Nigel loses 3 places through 1 mistake.
Yeah, Nigel just no speed off that straight. Heading in there, teammates coming by. You don't want to block your teammate, and really nothing he could do with Moore just sitting right in that draft right there into the braking zone. He could have risked it, but it was better just to take it easy and not race the other car right there, as we brought on board Dennis Kirkopoulos sitting in 16th. Well, they started 16th. I feel like they didn't have the best start off the line, but the only driver that's actually not moved in the midfield, Castles with the move fastest lap, trying to chase down there in Baba. Top 3 haven't moved, and then there's Dennis down in 16th. So, like off the line, he was just being a bit more cautious right now, but now he's starting to make up spots back up the field.
Yeah, Dennis seems to be having a tough time with it tonight, because usually he's a bit further up the order. One of the absolute veterans, I think, turns up for more races than anyone else. Eric Renoy, unfortunately, isn't out there tonight. I think it might be the first time that we haven't seen Eric on the grid all season. Eric's been in particularly good form as well, but a shame to not see that, as looks like Moore is going to try to pass Cash. So Cash was able to get past a few laps ago, actually, and he is now kind of feeling the heat now from behind, so Moore looking very quick. A driver I think we saw back at Silverstone, maybe a couple of other races this season, but showing excellent pace to contend with the kind of.
Yeah, Ivan Moore definitely very aggressive driver. Currently actually has a lower license than everybody else, but his iRating is up there, so if there's an opportunity for him to go, he will lick the step and send it. He was already looked down the inside. There wasn't any room right there, but he's not afraid to show you the bumper of his Radical. Moving fast lap for Torp in 4th place, 123.665. And ooh, Paul Taylor getting a little spicy. A little early dive ahead of Alvaro Martin. And here comes Martin looking up the inside and now the outside of turn 3. Very tricky section to get right and make a move in here. Ooh, little bit of a drag race. They're nose to nose right now. Here we go. Side by side through the kink. You're going to have to lift off right there for both of them. Paul Taylor holding around the outside. But, man, Martin is making him dance for his lunch money right now.
That was super good racing. These guys separated all of them by about a second, 1.6 seconds at the moment. Separates these 5 drivers. Very exciting stuff. Taylor managing just to make a little bit of gap. He's got wide. What happens to Vittens? Has he made?
I think he locked up and spun.
Is. Wow, how's he reached there?
I think he locked up and spun, man. Might have got tapped from the inside, but Paul Taylor, with that little distraction, he's got a lot of speed up onto the inside to one of the fastest corners on track. Up onto the inside, Paul Taylor, P14. And now, here comes Dennis looking for a repeat of that. Looks up onto the inside of the final corner, and Dennis up in the 14th now. Paul Taylor is just falling down the field.
Get the replay of what originally happened to Vitens
I
then.
think he just walked up and spun it off the exit. Oh, he was
no,
tapped.
it was a hit.
He
Well,
was tapped.
It did seem as though, because I think we were riding on board with Taylor as that happened.
It was, yeah, we were riding on board the gearbox, so we were looking behind him, not in front of him.
Yeah,
so we were
seemed
completely
as though he
blindsided
was,
it.
it's almost though he kind of drove it in a bit deep, but kind of lost speed. I don't know if it seemed especially slow though. It was what they lost kind of 2 car lengths of an advantage.
I think there was just a little bit too deep and a little too much braking. Both of them might have done a little bit of mistake right there. It definitely did not seem intentional by either driver. Well, yeah, definitely for Wittens because he was turned, but for Taylor to hit him, it just looked like Wittens maybe braked too much, and then Taylor went a little bit too loose in a brake because he had cars all over him. So 50-50, I gotta say.
Take a photo of this. It's very nice. Everyone's very evenly spread out between these drivers. And you can see 23 sevens from second down to fifth, and they're all catching up to Aaron Barber. But the closer that Castles gets, the more tricky it gets for him to set good lap times, because he gets into that turn. And if you ride on board maybe with Castles, you can see it on board, just the understep, particularly heading into this Shell Oil corner. You can get a little bit of understeer, especially when you're within a couple of tenths of a second of the driver ahead. But this way you can gain. You can see the timing tower on the left gaining, but I mean, it's absolutely nowhere near, so you're really relying on a mistake from the driver ahead at this point.
Yeah, a mistake here is so easy to come by, but both these drivers right here are so consistent and so precise that going through that chicane, there's just barely an inch of space between you and those tires. And those tires, if you hit them, they do come off the ground just a little bit. I've had some GT races where there have been instances of tires rolling into the middle of the track. And it's kind of like the iRacing damage model of cars, where they will be there for a while, but next lap they will be back to where they are. But they will really cause up a real hullabaloo if they get into the track right there.
See, I was chatting to you about this earlier on, after my very successful night in the Apex Racing League Super Trucks. And yeah, I didn't realise that was the case. I thought they were absolutely, like I said, I compared it to cast iron. I thought they just did not move. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see. So far, I don't
you
think
honestly haven't hit them as many times as I have.
No. Well, no one's tested it tonight. I mean, what is this? I mean, it's so easy to turn into the wall. It's like any street circuit, where you catch the inside wall. But it's not happened much tonight. But,
well, these are the best. These are the best radical drivers in all of iRacing right here. Top split, top experience. All these guys avoiding those rookie mistakes. Unlike, well, the ones that I pull here and there every time. Like after this practice session, I happily hop in there and give you a demonstration of driving into one of those and see how far it flies. But they do move.
Yeah,
as Testament has had an issue. Not sure what happened there, but we saw Big go a bit wide and drop past Al Hamry as we got on board Ivan Moore behind Chris Cash and Cadelis under pressure by Cash.
Yeah, so they've managed to catch up to, or cash up to
Cadelis. Oh my gosh.
Cool.
To be fair, that came into my mind as well right before you said it.
Yeah, I had the audacity to verbalize it. Apologies, everyone. I'll point at something else and give a quick shout out to Virtual Racing School, who are one of the sponsors for this series. Virtual Racing School with over 50 dates packs for road and over racing, so many cars covered by Virtual Racing School. And those data packs include setups, track guides, one-on-one coaching, and also a fantastic data analysis software as well, where you can compare your telemetry to a pro driver and one of the best drivers in all of iRacing. So do certainly check out Virtual Racing School in order to get signed up if you're looking to improve. And of course, in this Radical SR8 machine, you get taught by Pablo Lopez, who is an absolutely terrific driver, series champion a couple of seasons ago. So he is quite one to learn some wisdom.
Yeah, he won last week. Pretty much came in and really showed the field how it's done. It was a nail biter last week between him and the rest of the field, as Aaron Baba knew fastest lap 1:23.642. 2/10 faster than Castle's right behind him. But Castle seems to be doing this sort of yo-yo effect. Gets closer, gets affected by that turbulent air, but gets farther back, gets affected by that slipstream, but not as dirty air, and it's kind of that weird bubble that he's just stuck behind him. But it seems like Baba is really turning on the jets right now and starting to pull away.
Yeah, he's doing just enough at the moment as well. But it's tricky for the lead car in a situation like this, around such a tricky circuit, because it's tricky to, push. It's difficult to kind of drive the car on the limits. You kind of want to reserve something when you're out in the lead, whereas if you're in second place, especially seeing that Castles isn't too fussed about the championship, you can absolutely put everything into going fast. Might just have a little bit of second place.
Cash heading into that curb, that apex, he got a big bounce off that apex curb, just dipped the wheel over, so Moore might be looking right here. They're definitely really close with each other. One big old send away, and Moore's looking for it right now into the final corner. He's had enough of Cash holding it around the outside and staying in the draft of Cadelis ahead. He's going to be keeping it in ninth place as Moore. Oh man, that was a big look right there.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Cash didn't defend it a little bit more heading into that final corner, but good respectful racing from the two of them to leave a car's width, and Moore is still all over the back. And can he take an alternative line this time around this part of the circuit to try to get out of that turbulent air? It takes a bit too much curb on the inside.
You can take a wider line to set up. You can take a wider line to set up heading into this long straight from the overspeed, but I think the more speed you get from the draft is just going to be all you need, because Cash is also getting a draft, so it's not going to be as much as you need. He's really going to look one up the inside. I think he's going to be he's not going to be selling dummy. He's going to send it. There's a little bit of contact. They both make contact. They're both off the circuit in the chicane.
Where is Cash? Has Cash
is continue on. Yeah, look at the side of Cash's car. It is all scuffed up right there. A big contact made with them. It looked like Cash was lost it already and was turning, but Ivan Moore and Chris Cash definitely made a lot of contact right there off the exit. And let's get another look from the outside view, as this was a very audacious move by Ivan Moore. He was totally there, but yeah, you see they both made contact. Cash, I think, just went a little bit too deep, and maybe a little bit of netcode touch to start that, but then there was just physical contact to the end of that corner. But both of them have a lot of damage on.
Yeah, Cash is now losing time to his teammate just into it, so he may well lose.
Off. 6 places off.
And he's lost out to Messenger, and he might lose out to Kundelis as well. Side by side, Kundelis is going to be able to get past, I would have thought, although the side draft might just help out Vandenberg here. Here he comes, he might be able to pull back ahead. Here he comes. But he's going to have to go the long way round, so Kundelis has just got to try to push him off the circuit if he can. But brilliant racing between the two of them, and that is sensational defense there from Philip Vandenberg. Well, I don't know if that's defense or attack, honestly, but it was kind from Kundelis. I would have just, I'm surprised he didn't just drive it in deep and force him off the track there to do such a narrow part of the track. But where he left the car's width, and Vandenberg took it, but he still did lose 1 place from him.
Sam, this isn't the Apex Racing League Super Truck Series. They can't make car-to-car contact, unlike what you've been doing for the past 2 rounds of that series, which goes on right before the Radical Challenge. And McHutchison is heading into the pit lane something has happened to him. Did he get a black flag or something?
Well, he couldn't have run out of field because the fixed setup series, of course, but something else has happened to McCutcheon.
If he cut the course and got a slowdown and didn't serve it, he might have got a stop-go penalty or something. That's the only idea, that he's got a stop-go penalty for a unserved slowdown. Did he go through one of the chicanes to avoid something?
Perhaps could have done so. Quite sure.
He's exiting the pits right now. He had an 18-second pit stop, so something's happened there, but he's back on track right now for McCutcheon's. I don't know what's going on. Everything's weird today. And look at this. Candelas getting overtaken. Well, still trying to get the overtake on Philip, but Philip this time had the inside line and made it work.
Got a good record in the UK has McCutcheon, so he's won 3 races, I think 1 at Okayama, and then the other 2 have been at Silverstone and Brands Hatch, so trying to go for the hat trick this season at British circuits, but that is not going to happen, unfortunately for him. And instead, well, at the back. By the way, of course, as you can see how far back he is using the SDK Gaming overlay we have up on screen. This overlay, absolutely the best one you can get in iRacing. So much customization as well, templates as well for NASCAR, and also the old classic Formula Renault 3.5 Championship. Of course, we use it for all our broadcasts. We also use it up here in the commentary box for live timing. It's also fantastic as well as a heads-up display. Huge thanks to SDK Gaming, and do make sure to sign up to SDK Gaming at sdk-gaming.co.uk. You can get a 14-day free trial. Kyriakopoulos, I'm not sure if he's actually overtaken anyone so far, but he's actually got up to 13th position.
Yeah, one on-track overtake on Paul Taylor into that final corner.
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel like the Rallycross overlay, the WRX overlay that we made on Apex Racing TV made for SDK Gaming gets not enough love as it is. And oh, look at this move by Candelas, looking down the inside as Philippe just stays onto the outside, doesn't want any of that smoke. Candelas up in the 6th. He's
a little bit slow there, although Van den Herk was a little bit slow himself actually on the exit, and look how Cash, who doesn't seem to be having so many problems with the damage. He's been able to keep behind his teammate Nigel Redwood. Well, I'm sure that damage will be affecting him, but at least it's not doing damage, it seems. And of course, these cars are super brittle, so he's fairly fortunate about that one, but he needs to try to get past Van den Herk with just 2.5 laps to go.
2.5 laps to go. This race definitely zoomed by us as this 4-car fight for P6, Candelas, Harouk, Cash, and Redwood. Those dealt with each other, the 2 teammates of Cash and Redwood at the back. Surprised they haven't swapped spots right here, since one has damage, the other one doesn't. I feel like they're just waiting for an opportunity. Don't want all the opportunities to pass them up. They've really got to create their own. That move that Candelas did on Harouk last lap really got them into that zone, so I don't think they were thinking about it until right now.
So whoever is behind in that Van den Herk Candelas seems to get a second or third win, because now it's Van den Herk. He's catching up. Maybe the turbulent air isn't so bad as I thought, to be fair.
It's not Formula 3.5 levels of turbulent air or IndyCar turbulent air, so they're really, you can get some turbulent air, but they've already got damage on their wings, so I feel like they're just not going to be that affected by it. It is a bit lower on the right side of the wing, but I don't think it's that much turbulent air affecting these cars. They have a massive diffuser under them, so mostly it looks like it's mostly floor under tray downforce than rear wing downforce, since usually the rear wing by most aerodynamicists say create about 25% of the downforce. I remember hearing that in an interview somewhere. I think it was from Caterham. So, you know, that just shows, I don't know how much that really brings any validity to that because it was a Caterham, but, you know, it is a rough estimate that the wing doesn't create as much downforce as the undertray does.
Yeah, I know certainly in Formula 1 it's I think something like 75% produced by the floor. In these cars, there may be a little bit less as because Vanden Hug. Oh, is he going right into the back of him? Wow, that was lucky.
How do you keep away?
And, well, if there was a tiny bit of netcode there, that would have been contact. Getting tight for the lead, Barber versus Castles. This is a tight battle. It's down to 4.5 tenths of a second out in the lead with
White
Castles
flags in the air.
closing right at the end. But Barber just needs to get through this this corner all right, and then he should be home and dry.
Castle's last lap opportunity. He lost 2/10 heading into the chicane. Well, heading into the hairpin. That's not the chicane. The chicane's coming up right now. He gained a lot of time last lap. He's getting some time on the straight right now. Half a second behind Aaron Baba. Heading into the chicane. Got to keep this a little bit perfect if you don't want that opportunity blown. And he's nailed it right there. And goes a bit wide. It's not going to hurt him that much. 3 corners to go for Aaron Baba.
It's all looking good for him, and this might even be enough points as well to clinch the championship. I certainly won't say it will do because Kundalis has done well to recover back up to 6th position after a poor qualifying. But Barber, if he had a hand on it before, he's got a hand and 4 fingers on it now, because the Dutch driver is rounding the final corner. He is approaching the line at Oulton Park, and he wins the strength of field race here in week 10 of the championship, beating Castles by less than 4/10 of a second at the line. Can rounds out the podium with a quiet race. Kundlers will hold off Vanden Hug. Cash will be annoyed after contact earlier on in the race, and that damage really not enabling him to make an attack on those 2 cars ahead near the finish. Kyrkopoulos there in 13th place, and well, that will be a good win there for Bow. It wasn't quite the dominant display that was seen from him at times, Austin, but well, after Sebring, where he made a mistake from the lead, which probably cost him the race win, he should be very pleased that he was totally error-free there, and yeah, did not buckle under pressure.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk heading into this race. Some drivers not a big fan of this track. It completely is different to any circuits that they're used to driving on compared to a few of these tracks. Oulton Park feels like a club track more than a proper racing track with how tight it is, and just how much undulation this track has. These cars really have a tough time with it. So I feel like this is his drop week that he's going to go for, and just look on for the rest of the series.
And another shout out to another one of our sponsors for this series, Apex Racing Academy. Just before we go through the final results, Apex Racing Academy with 29 data packs for a mixture of road and also dirt road cars, the rallycross cars. They produce setups, track guides, also weekly group coaching sessions, and it's integrated with virtual racing school as well. The technology used with Apex Racing Academy, the setup sync technology, is super easy to use, takes a lot of the hassle out of downloading and applying setups. So it is certainly recommended from all of us here at Apex Racing TV. Big thanks to them for sponsoring the series. Aaron Barber then takes the race win. 4/10 of a second clear over Castles. Not the closest finish we've had this season. I mean, there's always a few close ones. Sebring, I think, was much closer, down to
Sebring was side by side at the end.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, maybe half a car's length at most. So it wasn't quite as close to that, but still fairly close there from Castles. He just lost that 1.5 tenths in qualifying. That was probably the difference in the end. Cam finishing in 3rd position on his return to the series. Thomas Torp was a strong 4th place. Those top 4 close to one another throughout. Michael Messenger was a very quiet 5th, but he just made no errors. Probably wasn't the 5th fastest driver out there. Probably slower than the 3 cars behind him, but well, just good driving there from the car number 20, who barely made it into the top split. Behind him was Arturas Kundalis, Philip Vanden Hug, Chris Cash, Nigel Redwood, and Ivan Moy. Had a little bit of a tricky day actually, did more. Looked very quick up there, but just a couple of issues for him. Behind that was Alvaro Martin, who recovered well, actually, Martin. I think he was down to 17th place at one point, but he's finished in 11th in the end. There was Mike Busson, Dennis Kyriakopoulos, Paul Taylor, Rasmus Varblane from last on the grid, Abel Al-Amri, Johannes Hesterman, John McHutchinson after having to take a stop-go penalty, it seemed. And then the retirees were Austin Farr, Tommy Wittens, and Luke Annette. Annette with that huge crash through Cascades on lap 1. We have a few drivers who are waiting to have a chat with us, and we will not hesitate to bring them up. In fact, we've got the top 2, but I will take our race winner first. It is Aaron Barber, who joins us in the commentary box right now. Congratulations, Aaron. That's a really good race win for you. How tense was it driving in that car, because you were under pressure throughout?
Yeah, Anthony had a very good pace. I did my best, but I know on this track you need to have a good quali. If you have the quali, then you can pretty much lead the entire race. But I need to change some things, because I was on Discord with 2 of the drivers who were taken out at the start, and then they were way too loud, but I couldn't change the volume, so they were talking the whole time. But then I made a small mistake, because I was busy with them, I was busy racing, so this is I will never do this again. But yeah, the pace from Anthony was really good. He was putting me under pressure, so consistently doing 23.7s or something. I got some off tracks. This track is really, it's very easy to get off tracks, especially turn 1, and then after the chicane you can get an off track on the left side. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the win. It's good for the championship points.
Absolutely. Of course, you say how important qualifying is around here. Were you putting some extra practice in for the qualifying, you know, practicing, you know, getting those tires up to temperature, or did you kind of treat this race as you would any other meeting?
I treated it like always. The first lap, you go out, you weave a little bit, and then it's tough, because the first lap is garbage anyway. So you need to focus on the second lap, and if you get an off track, then it's pretty much done. So luckily I managed the 24 flat. It should have been a 23.8, but I made a mistake on the, I don't know the name of the shell corner or something, like the carousel. And then I lost 2 tenths, but I was pretty happy I was still P1, because it's very difficult to overtake here. And I was really surprised about the draft. You can get a lot of draft on this track. It's not like last season, but it's still there.
And you mentioned as well the championship a little bit earlier on. I believe Ant will now be up to 2nd place in the championship, but I think there's 52 points available. You must be 45 points clear, I think. So, yeah, you got any plans for when you win the title? Because it looks like it's going your way.
I don't know if I can race next week Suzuka, because I'm pretty busy at work. But Nordschleife, of course, I will race. I will race it till the end. But I'm happy with the broadcast that I'm leading the championship, and also the official standings. So yeah, this time I thought, let's go, let's do, let's try to get P1 on both championships. So.
Definitely. Well, thanks for having a chat with us. And is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
As always, you guys, and then Anthony, great pace. Josh, also great pace. All the guys that had a nice race, and everyone in the Radical community. I was normally thinking about doing the GT3s next, but after seeing the schedule for the next season, I think I'm gonna stick with the Radical one more season, and I think Pablo will be there with me. So let's see.
Awesome, that is music to our ears, and I agree. The schedule looks absolutely terrific next season. So yeah, looking forward to that, and yeah, looking forward to the final 2 races. See you then, Aaron.
See you guys. Bye.
Aaron Barber, there, your race winner and also championship leader. So yeah, looking very good for that one. But yeah, might just give the others a chance by missing next week, and make it get some stakes for the final race of the championship. Austin, who would you? Well, there's just one option, to be honest. But it's a very good option. We've got Ant Castles to have a chat with.
Yeah, and it's always a good chat to have in the booth after a good race. And that final lap, you're really giving it to Aaron Baba, and it looked like you could have, if there was a little bit, one more lap left, you could have gave a great fight for the end, but it was a heck of a charge in those final closing laps.
Yeah, no, that was a good race. Aaron did really well, kept the pace up. Aaron is quick round here. In the 8 p.m, he was battling away with Josh as well, so it was a good eye opener really to what to expect from the pace tonight. So no, it was good fun.
How do you feel about Oulton Park as a track and trying to overtake or just trying to follow another car here? Were you affected by any sort of dirty gear?
Funny enough, I've been racing with Josh all week, and I've been pretty much behind Josh all week, so I got used to any sort of spots of dirty air that you'd feel from the car. As for an overtaking track, I watched the 8 p.m. between Aaron and Josh, and it's so difficult. There's no run anymore. There's nothing to gain anymore from this new aero model.
Yeah, so it was all about qualifying in iRacing's form of, UK's form of Monaco.
Yeah, it's a fantastic track. I love this track, and it's good to get a good result and to see the team as well in the top split. So all in all, good night.
It looked like a good night for you. Are you expecting another good night at Suzuka? Much wider track and some opportunities to get some fantastic moves around there too.
Yeah, it's another great track. I think I'm due a bit of luck this week after a couple of bad weeks, and obviously last week at turn 1 didn't go well for me, so it's good to finally get some good laps in and do a good race.
Well, it was a fantastic race by you and your team. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank before we let you get ready for Suzuka?
Always the Pure Boys. Starting to do a good showing in these Radical series. We've got some quick guys in there, so hopefully next season we'll be putting on a good show as well. Concrete Ocean, our sponsor again. And keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you, Ant. You have yourself a good night. Sam, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, well, just looking forward to Suzuka because that is my favourite circuit in the whole world. Well, until iRacing gets Surface Paradise, of course, but for now, best circuit on iRacing, and that should be very good, even with the small draft effect in these cars. Should be a good opportunity to race. Of course, that will be on same time. Same place next week, of course, on Apex Racing TV. That'll be the penultimate round of the championship, and possibly the crowning as well for Aaron Baba to win the title. Hopefully he's around, or hopefully if he's not around, the championship goes down to the last race of the season. Because that would be very good to have him in person to take that well-deserved trophy. Of course, big thanks to Apex Racing Academy, to SDK Gaming, and to Virtual Racing School for sponsoring this series. And do make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to Apex Racing TV, because we've got so many more broadcasts coming up. Nothing more tonight, I believe, and tomorrow as well. Actually, we haven't got any Apex Racing Academy F3 or Apex Racing League GT, but there's loads more coming up. We got the GT3 Pro Trophy on Tuesday evenings. Also got Rick Motec as well on Monday evenings. That's for American viewers. That's a good time slot for any of you watching. And also the Formula V Championship, I think, is on Monday. And a whole host of other super trucks, single seaters, prototypes, even rallycross as well on Wednesday nights for the qualifiers. So do make sure to catch all of that on Apex Racing TV, and of course do check out our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram profiles so you can see constant highlights and little videos from all of the best bits on Apex Racing TV and updates for all of the series. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Austin Knight, and from Mark Chanter, we are going to say goodbye, and we will see you back next week at Suzuka for round 11 of the series. See you then.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.